Now in this video I'm going to make a couple of long overdue shop projects. The first one is a bucket storage solution from my mentor Richard Raffan, and the other one is also from my mentor dust extractor hood. So stay tuned. As for materials, what I have here, this is a 10-liter bucket. As you can see here, I use this one old bucket for grout. Should do the job just fine. Maybe it's a bit on a smaller side, but I think should be okay. Piece of plywood. In this case, I'm going to use piece of plywood. You can use whatever you have lying around in your shop. It will do just fine. And also I have a few washers, a couple of bigger ones, and couple of smaller ones, also 2 nuts, and this bolt, we call it Torban bolt in Croatian. Not sure how you call it in English. Now the length and the size, of course, is going to vary where you're going to put this. Now I don't have any lazy Susan mechanism that will make the job much easier, so I'm just going to bolt this down to a cupboard that I have next to the lathe, which you're going to see in a few minutes. So first, what I want to start with is making a couple of circles here. Now the first circle would be to fit at the rim of the bucket here, so on the top right here. So that is roughly 10-inch or 250 mil diameter. I'm going to do it slightly oversized, and since we have the lathe, we're going to use it to make it a nice perfect fit, because this is slightly tapering bucket, so I want to make a taper on the top here as well. The other disc that I'm going to cut is for the base, so that should be around 220 mil diameter. Of course, you're going to adapt to whatever you have in your shop. There is no need to buy any kind of hardware for this kind of simple storage solution, let's say. So the next thing, like I said, mark the circles and cut them roughly on the bandsaw. The drill press, I have 60 mil diameter Forstner bit, and these 2 washers, what I want to do with them, these will act like lazy Susan, let's say. So these 2 are, let's see, the thickness around 5.4 mil, so roughly maybe 4.5 mil deep. These will be embedded in. Now I don't have correct size for these, but 60 mil is closest that I have. So that's my 0, and I'm going to set that as a 0 like so, and off we go. Okay, that should be it. That these 2 inside just slightly protrude out, so that's pretty good. Now the next step, since I'm on the drill press, I'm going to drill a through hole for the screw chuck. And into this piece as well. Now first I'll do the base. Just true up diameter. The base isn't crucial to have any specific diameter. spindle gouge, 1/2 inch diameter. And what I'll do also, not necessary, but just quick sand. 180 grit. Just remove any fuzzy grain. And now the lid. I'm going to do this as a top. So first make it round. Just to see if the bucket already fits. No, it doesn't. But as soon as I make a slight taper here, it should fit. So that's the next step. Now the glue in plywood will dull your tools quite fast. Oh, that's, I would say, perfect fit. Now I do need a way to attach the lid to a bucket. So I want to recess this even more in, so it's around in this area, just beneath this lip here that I have on this particular bucket. So a little bit more. Now what I've decided, instead of a square grit, I'm going to do a drilled grit, let's say, so holes in this lid. I'll use this 60mm Forstner bit. It's slightly larger again than this washer. This washer sort of represents the thickest handle that I have from Crown, which is again around 45mm, give or take a few mil. So I should have enough of the tools here, around 9 tools, but I could probably squeeze a couple of smaller holes here for thinner handle tools. So after the drill press. So this is the end result. You can see I managed to squeeze 2 more holes here. It's a tight squeeze. 50 mil Forstner bit will be ideal for this scenario, but again, I don't have it, and this should work pretty good. So again, the reason for plywood in this case, all of these, although are quite thin, are just in the nature of the layers in the plywood. These are quite stiff and quite stable. So yeah, I think maybe a small round over with the router, and this should be okay. I've drilled a hole in the very center of the bucket, put the bolt here and the little washer, and now I can focus on the base. So this position here is right next to my lathe, so just to the left of it, and I have a plan to put it somewhere around in this position. I think should be okay. There is enough room for most of the tools to be under the cupboard here, whatever it's called. So I think around here should be okay for the hole. So around here. So these 2 washers go underneath, and I'll adjust this if I need to go any deeper, so it doesn't rock too much. So you can see this one does rock a little bit, so I'll drill it just a little bit deeper. Let's see now. Okay, that's perfect. And just it's a tiny bit of off the table, so only the 2 washers rub each other, and you can put some sort of a wax or anything in between. What I'm going to do is put this WD-40 silica. So just okay, I didn't mean that much, but you get the idea. So like that, base goes over it, bucket goes on top of it, and just put the washer and the nut from the bottom. Now, just before I tighten this, I also want to put another washer on the bottom, but it will be much easier to remove this to install the lid here. So the lid now can slide down. Make sure it's at the same distance from the top. Okay, that's close enough. Small drill bit. I don't have at the moment any kind of a thinner screws. Again, this is not extremely structural thing, so this is the smallest that I have, so I'm just going to put these. Plenty strong, even overkill a bit. So the stand is done, and as you can see, spins quite nicely, and it won't come off the cupboard here. So I'll fill it in with most used tools, which is in this case 1/2 inch diameter spindle gouge, then this small skew, another one, $10mm spindle gouge, $16mm ball gouge, $12mm ball gouge. Okay, I might have to put something on the bottom. I'll see about that. Of course, refiner, square and scraper. This is 19mm wide. $19mm skew. And I have one more position, and I'm going to put this ball scraper. Okay, that works beautifully, apart from the bottom. So the bottom is shifting, so I need to put some sort of a grid on the bottom. So this is my quick and easy solution to stop the end of the handles inside the bucket to flop around too much. So all I need to do is just heavily chamfer these ends and attach it to the base. And also this will serve as a sort of a reinforcement for the bottom of the bucket, although it's not necessary, but it will do the double purpose. Okay, let's load it one more time. Let's start with the scrapers this time. You can see now they don't flop around in the bottom. Couple of skews, let's put those in the center. Spindle gouges and a couple of ball gouges. There we go. Beautiful. So now you can see these 10 tools here are my most used tools that I use every single day. In the drawers I have the tools that I use, let's say, every other day, but these are now just a reach over or a step away from the lathe, so quite convenient. Yeah, turned out really nice. Now let's see about dust hood. Alright, so what I'm going to make again is a Richard Raffan Inspired dust hood. Now the reason I haven't installed one yet after getting this VICMARK lathe is I wanted to test out a few of the other options that I haven't tried before, and basically none of them worked the way I wanted to. So dust hood, the way Richard designed it, really worked lovely for me. So yeah, let's see how to make one for this lathe. From the center of the lathe up to this point, and I can always slightly taper this, but I have roughly almost 10 inches, so I can leave the port in this area. So just go like this, even closer. I rarely turn anything bigger than 12 to 14 inches diameter, so around up to, let's say, 450 mil diameter, so around here, so that should be okay. In regard to the size, I have to accommodate the banjo, so when if I turn something small and I have to position the banjo like this, you can see I have quite a lot of overhang here on the right. Now I can work around that, so I can tilt it like that. I can also work like that, so I can shorten the distance a little bit. So now it's up to the lathe around 230 mil, and if I go straight, that's 300 mil. So yeah, I can work around that a little bit. Also, you can put a longer tool rest, although not ideal to work on the end of the tool rest, because you will get some harmonic in this area rather than right above the post, but you make a little compromises. Dust hood, it's much easier to make on a smaller lathe because you don't have too much of the space or cabinet that I'm going to build here. And I have 2 horsepower dust extractor, which is not on a weaker side, but it's not super powerful as well. So you have to make a little bit of a compromise. So I'm going to take a measurement. Let's see, around here. So that's 260 mil wide board here, and I can make the same width for the L shape, so it will go like this in L. So the height wise, I also have to accommodate that when I put the lid on, I can also turn, so around here. So that will be around 580 mil. Okay, let's see what I have. And I'll cut these boards out and I'll tune you back in. So just to show you where I am at this stage, so I've made a couple of L pieces. So I have here, this is the movable part. So for now that will go on the side. That's pretty much finished, just sanding the edges. Here on this one, so what I've done is I had to make a slight taper cutout in this area so I can bring this side or this edge right up against the lathe, like so. And now I have to cut away a circle here for the dust hood or dust pipe, dust extractor pipe, and that will feed in a little bit. And all that it's left to do is just put a few screws from underneath the shelf here. So that's pretty much it. And also the lid here, the cover. So okay, so just a test run. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Just get it here on the edge. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'll put a couple of brackets on the corner here, since I'm actually at the very edge of the shelf here. But that's good. So now just anchor this down, and actually I'll do a little, I'll check which kind of pipe I still have left over to maybe extend this slightly more into the dust hood. Alright, so I didn't have longer pieces of this white pipe, 100 mil diameter, so I've put 2 shorter sections that I did have, and I don't feel like going into town just for this piece, so for now it will do. And let's have a trial run. Let's see how this goes. And I also cut this angle here so I can have a little bit more pipe into the hood. I might have to trim this back a bit. So up to this point I have, that would be almost 400 mil diameter, a little bit more back, so I'll cut away just a bit more here. Okay. that's it. So I have this main part of the hood assembled, so it's bolted into the shelf, bottom shelf. I have another L bracket here, so this is quite stable. I can actually do a little test run just to see if the pipe here is okay. Just close the other port. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you can see how this performs, so you can close it for smaller pieces or open it up if I'm sanding, let's say, a spindle of some sort. And if it's in my way, I can close it like so. So now I need to make a lid. The lid should be around 550 mil, and it can be slightly wider, so around 300 mil. Okay, so I'll cut that and it's pretty much all done. Now I have here 120 grit sanding disc on a drill. Now, by the way, I got a few questions asking about this sander. This is actually angle drill from Makita, works beautifully. I think there is only a couple of models, this one and with a key, chuck key, that are electric like this. Others are battery powered. I like this one. So hopefully now you'll be able to see how the dust is drawn into the hood. Works beautifully. Not much is going around it. See how it pulls it in. Now again, this is quite a big lathe, big swing, so the pipe is slightly further away from the source, but nevertheless works beautifully. So hopefully you like a nice and easy and quite simple dust extractor hood. Try it out for yourself. In my opinion, works the best out of all the options that I've tried, and I've tried many of those, especially in the latest few months. This just works the best. Now again, if you have smaller lathe, it will work even better because you can get the pipe even closer to the source. So this is quite a big hood behind it, so I would need maybe a slightly more powerful dust extractor, but even with this one works okay. And also the star of the video, the turn bucket storage tool for the essential tools that I use on every single day, so works beautifully.